المنصور على تقديم هذه الورشة ومشاركته خبراته القيمة معنا. نتمنى للجميع ورشة مثمرة ومفيدة. أستاذ وائل ورس منصور.
شكرا جزيلا أستاذ بشرى، وشكرا جزيلا للدكتور حمد والأستاذة نادية والجميع الحضور ومكتبة جامعة سلطان قابوس. أشكر حضراتكم مشاركتكم في الجلسة، وإن شاء الله تكون مفيدة. اليوم هنتكلم عن سكوبس وسكوبس اي اي. فاحنا تركيزنا ان شاء الله في سكوبس اليوم هيبقى، او الاجنده بتاعتنا انه هنبدا بانترودكشن، بس يعني تذكير باخر ابديت في الارقام الخاصه بالببليكيشنز في سكوبس، وبعدين ان شاء الله هنتكلم على الاوثر بروفايل في سكوبس لانه ده شيء مهم جدا للباحثين. وبعد كده ان شاء الله هنتكلم على السكوبس اي اي، وهيكون عندنا وقت في النهايه للاسئله. فارجو من حضراتكم لو اول باول تحطوا الاسئله في الكيو ان اي، بحيث انه بحيث ان احنا نجاوب عليها في الاخر. استاذه بشرى، في سؤال في الشات بيقول السيشن هل هي بالعربي، ولا تفضلوا بالعربي ولا تفضلوا باللغه الانجليزيه؟
يعتمد على الحضور، يعني أتوقع أن الحضور بيكون اللي هو باللغة العربية واللغة الإنجليزية، بتكون باللغة العربية أفضل. بس يمكن في أعضاء
لو حد باللغة الإنجليزية نعملها باللغة الإنجليزية أفضل.
أيوه.
أنا عندي اقتراح، لو يناسب حضراتكم ممكن نعمل سيشن باللغة العربية ونكرر مرة أخرى بعد أسبوع ولا حاجة سيشن باللغة الأخرى باللغة الإنجليزية، يعني مرة باللغة الإنجليزية ومرة باللغة العربية لو تحب، عشان نغطي جميع الحضور.
احنا عملنا إعلان وأتوقع أنه ذاكرين باللغة الإنجليزية، أنا بس حاب أتأكد. Yeah, in English please.
تمام، خلاص، شكرا جزيلا دكتور. Thank you very much. So we will actually talk today about Scopus. So we'll start with a Scopus introduction, and then we will cover the Scopus author profile, which is very important. And last, an important part, which is the Scopus AI and how it can help the researcher to do a research or do a search for the literature and getting a very helpful literature. I will start with a very quick update on Scopus. So let me share my screen. It's just a couple of slides exactly about the latest number of Scopus. I hope you're able to see my screen now. So the latest content from Scopus, we have reached more than 29,000 active journals. The number of journals, of course, in Scopus are more than that, but we are talking here about the active journals. Around 25 million publications are open access, and we have 426,000 plus books. The number of publications in Scopus have exceeded 100 million, so it's 102 million publications. These publications are coming from 7,000 publishers. Elsevier is just one publisher of those. And in addition to around 22,000 million active author profile, this that we are going to cover today, the author profiles, and more than 94,000 affiliation profile. When we say affiliation profile, means like research entity profiles like Sultan Qaboos University, for example. The 102 million publications, as we mentioned, coming from 29,000 active journals, 171 conferences, and 426 books. So there are three sources in Scopus: journals, conferences, and books. This covers 105 countries worldwide, and we're adding 13,000 articles per day into Scopus. The journals are covering all the different subject areas, and as you can see on the left side, let me use a pointer. So the journals are covering all the different subject areas with the number of journals you can see on the left side. The second source is conferences. Conferences are focusing more on engineering and computer science. because they publish, usually the researcher in these two fields, they publish more into conferences, but the other 50%, after 50% is covering all the different subjects. In terms of books, it is covering more or focusing more on social sciences and arts and humanities, around 50%, and the other 50% for all different subjects. So that's a very quick update about the numbers in Scopes. So let me share my screen, Scopus screen now, and then we start. Okay, so I have moved now to the Scopus main screen. I'm sure all of you familiar with it, and you can access it from the library page, which can make it easy for you to access on-site or on-campus and off-campus as well. This is the landing page of Scopus. Just to remind you, you have different types of searches. Document search, from the name you are searching for publications, and you have different fields to use. You can add multiple fields using Boolean operators and or not to look for a specific set of publications. You have an author search, which we are going to go through the profile from this one today. And then we have the researcher discovery, which can help you to find a collaborator, someone to collaborate with, or if the university has a journal and you would like to find a reviewer for the journal, or if you have projects and you want to have an external reviewer, you can use researcher discovery. The organization is covering all the research entities, which can be academic or even corporate doing research. And last part, which is the Scops AI, which will be our focus today. On top here, you have sources. We have talked about that when I visited the university a couple of weeks back, which has the journals, conference, and books. And how can you select the matrix? How can you use the matrix in a responsible way to select the right journal for you? And the last part is the support. So you have here the tutorials and support center, which is a text help and short videos. So if you would like to do a task, there are short videos for all the tasks almost. And also we have here contact us, which is your first line of support. For example, if you are missing one of your articles in your profile, you can just send the full text article PDF to the support team and request to add it to them. It's important also to log in to Scopus, and it's very easy, just an email address and password, which you can use it in all Elsevier products. So you can use it for Scopus, for Science Direct, for Scival, and so on, which allow you actually, if you're doing a sophisticated search, you can save the list of titles here. You can even save the search strategy itself. You can create alerts, so any article is added for you or for someone else, you get an email, or even citations. You can see all your exports from Scopus here into this area. And last part is the request and dashboard, which you send to the support team. All of them are under the dashboard. You can follow up on them as well from this area. All this information or these options are available when you log in to Scopus. So that's actually the first part and a quick introduction about Scopus. So let's move to the author profiles, because it's very important for the researchers to visit their author profile from time to time to make sure they are 100% correct. Let me also explain quickly how author profiles is managed in Scopus. So we have an algorithm, which is this algorithm look at the publication. So once the publication is added into Scopus, they look at the author name and they look at the affiliation, then add the publication correctly under the author name, profile, and the university. So a researcher from Sultan Qaboos University, they look at the researcher name and then add it under the profile of the author and the publication. And how is the algorithm doing that in a simple way? There are matching points. So they look at the exact name, they look at the email address, they look at the subject, they look at the affiliation, and match all this information. Sometimes if there are some points which is not matching, the algorithm prefer in this case to create an additional profile instead of merging two profiles, which they could be for two different people. And by the way, I have got a case from Sultan Qaboos University before, for two researchers, which they have the same family name and they publish, and that's a real case actually. They publish with the first name abbreviation. I think one researcher, his name was Ahmad, and the other one was Abdullah. And in English, of course, you know that if you put the abbreviation on the first character only, it will be both of them A and same family name. And both of them were in the same college and even same department. So that is something a bit hard for the algorithm to manage. So it's better to separate them. So that's why you need to visit your author profile from time to time to make sure it's 100% correct. So the algorithm will give you 97%, 98% accuracy, but it's important to visit. And I will show you how you can do that. So let's select one of the researchers from Sultan Qaboos University. And then use his or her profile. So I'm clicking on the author names. And I will select just randomly any of the author. I hope you don't mind. Maybe we can select Dr. Professor Muhammad Omar Farouk. And it's very important to know that this number of publications, Scopus is different from Cyber for the people who use Cyber. So here, Scopus, it shows you 586 publications. These all the publications of Professor Muhammad at SQU and other universities. So if you click on show all information here, you can see where is Professor Muhammad has worked before in a different institution. So this is the total of all these institutions he did work for. In Cyval, when you open the profile of the researcher, you see the number of publications which are related to the entity only, and in our case here, it's Sultan Qaboos University. So you need to know this number is total number of publication for Professor Muhammad in Scopes. You can see the current affiliation right now, Sultan Qaboos University, because in this list also you may find people they publish with Sultan Qaboos University, but they have left, but still their publication with Sultan Qaboos University is very much considered, of course, part of the research output of SQU. And of course, you see here the Scopus ID. This is actually a unique ID for each researcher in Scopus. And Professor Muhammad has linked his profile to ORCID, which is very good. Now Scopus will update the ORCID profile with the publication. And this number is very important when the researcher send his or her publications or the articles to the publishers, to make sure there are no issues with the name. And for all databases, of course. As I mentioned to you, if you click here on show all information, you can see actually the brief information about the researcher, the other name alternatives, the Scopus ID, ORCID ID, and the different institution he did work for, and all the subject areas which he published in. Then total number of citations, total number of documents, and each index, of course, is very impressive, 96. And then you can see different tabs here. You can see the number of documents, all of them are here. The impact, which consists of several things. Number one is the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. So Professor Muhammad publication are mapped here to the different SDGs. You can see, for example, SDG 2, 186, SDG 6, 72, and so on. And if you click on it, then you can see the publications. Also, as part of the impact, you can see the percentage of article of Professor Muhammad in the first quartile cited publication, so the top 25%. Here is 55.2% in Q1 journals. So here we talk about journals. The first one was citation in general. And the field-weighted citation impact for Professor Muhammad. And you know, field-weighted citation impact is a normalized metric, and the Wallet average is 1. Here is double the Wallet average, and you can see graphs for all this information. And you can see the document which is cited, the work of Professor Muhammad, if he has preprint, co-authors, topics, and so on. A lot of useful information, I guess. And even in document here, you can see the author position. So the first tab, documents, You can see the author position, how many times Professor Muhammad was last author, co-author, single author, and first author, and so on. So this is important points which the researcher can show the strengths, or if there are areas need to be improved, will be clear here. So what the researcher can do in his or her profile, there are two areas. Number one is edit profile, and number two is when I click on more potential author matches. So if I click on edit profile, what can I do in edit profile? I'll show you. Of course, we'll say it's not my profile, and we are not going to change anything. There are several things I can do here when I edit profile. Number one is to select the preferred name. We have seen that Professor Muhammad has actually published with different name formats. If you click here, then you can select or change the format. Of course, it's recommended that you put the full name because of the example which I mentioned, the people who publish with the initials. And also, of course, it's important to use the ORCID ID. And then here is the current organization. It is the organization or the current university is changing automatically. So let's say Professor Muhammad was in another Oxford University, for example, and then he moved to Sultan Qaboos University. If he joined in Sultan Qaboos University for 6 months and without any publication yet, it will stay Oxford University. Once he published his first publication, it will automatically change to Sultan Qaboos University. So you don't need to do anything here. In some cases, that does not change automatically. One of these cases is, let's say the first paper, which is Professor Muhammad published, was actually, he used the lab of Oxford University, but he was actually already joined Sultan Qaboos University. So he used the resources from both institutions. In this case, he can put actually both affiliation on the paper, and then when Scopus still sees Oxford University, the affiliation will not change. But it will be available in the background that Sultan Qaboos University. In this case, you can change it, since you have already one paper with the affiliation of Sultan Qaboos University. I hope this point I was able to explain it clearly. And then the second part, which you can do here, is the number of documents. You can review your publications. If any publication is not yours, you can just easily remove it from your profile. And also, if you are missing any of the documents, so the document is in Scopus, but it's not linked to your profile for some reason, you can click here and search, and then you will be able to attach it immediately to your profile. Of course, this will go to the support team to review it and then implement all the changes. So these are the things, 4 things you can do when you edit the profile. You can select the name format. You can select the organization if you have published with them already. You can remove publications. And last thing, you can actually search for missing articles and add them to your profile. So that is actually the first one, which is edit profile. Which is, how do you reach that? You just search for the author name. So let me show you actually step by step. In the search, you would like to edit your profile or you'd like to review your profile, just go to, from the main screen, go to authors, put the last name of yourself and first name, and then search. Then you have here actually your name, click on it, and then you would be able to, sorry, to edit the profile. Sorry. So that's the first step, edit profile. The second step, what you can do, which is very, very important, is you click on more and you click on potential author match. So this is the part which I mentioned to you, that the algorithm could create more than one profile in case the algorithm is not 100% sure he's the same person. So if you click on potential author match, the algorithm will give you a list of some similar names, as you can see. And of course, the best person to know this is the author himself, the researcher himself. Let's say, is this mine? Then you click here and see the article, and then I'm sure the researcher will be able to know his or her article. Again, here, if let's say those are for Professor Muhammad, you just need to click here in that box. It can be several ones, not only one. And then on the right bottom corner, you can click on request to merge with author. Of course, we are not going to change anything. And please have a look here. This author, if it is related to Professor Muhammad, and I can see here the name is very similar, other format of the name. A is dot, but here it is always. He is already missing 62 publications. It's a huge number, actually. So it's important for the researcher to review their profiles. If it is the same, I'm not sure, of course, it's still the same. The researcher himself or herself need to look at that. And then click on request to merge. It will go to the support team. They will review it, and then actually they implement that. I'm gonna close that without changing anything, of course. So that's why it's important for the researcher to visit his or her profile from time to time, because sometimes actually there's a promotion or tenure at the university, or there is an evaluation which they look at the author profiles. This is your academic CV worldwide and inside the institution. And actually another point, you have a research management system which is Pure. If your profile and Pure, one of the main sources they depend on is the Pure gets the data from Scopus. So if your profile is 100% correct in Scopus, so it's correct to the world, anyone is using Scopus, but also it will be correct in Pure. So that's why I'm mentioning it's important to visit the profile from time to time. So you don't have to be in a hurry when there is actually an evaluation at the university and so on. So that's what I wanted to mention to you about the author profile. I hope that part is clear, and it's very easy. And then we'll take questions after the coming section, which is the Scopus AI. So Scopus AI, as you may know, it has been added recently to Scopus, and Sultan Qaboos University already have a subscription to it, and it can be very helpful for the researchers, especially early career researchers, mid-career researchers, and even experienced researchers who are doing multidisciplinary research, because that can help them just ask the database in a natural language. So that actually makes things easy. I'm going to select one of, and by the way, you can ask in Arabic as well. So the answer would be maybe will be in English, but at least if you are not able to, especially for early career researchers and students, if you are not able to put the question and know the terminology exactly in English, you can ask in Arabic. So that is another feature or advantage. I'll just select the last one, which is about the sleep deprivation and how it can affect us. So I did ask the question. You can actually also type the question, of course. So first of all, Scopus will tell you what it is doing. It creates the plan first. It creates, or it writes the question into the natural language, and it creates by its own also a keyword search, which, by the way, you can copy and paste in the advanced search, the normal search in documents, and you can do the search and retrieve publications. So it combines both the natural language and the keyword search, and start to provide you with a summary. So it gives you a summary answer, and then what are the key findings for each element related to the answer. And of course, each part of it depends on Scopus only publication. So you can see the references, which is from Scopus, reference number 1. And if you click on open document details, you can see the details of Scopus, as you know, the author, the keywords, the abstract, and the matrix, and so on, a lot of information. And if it's open access, also you can go to the full text. Another 2 and 3, so these are more references, and then you come to the end of the answer. It gives you also a summary table, the impact of chronic sleep deprivation, and you can see here the information, and then it gives you a conclusion for the answer. That's the first part. Also on the right side here, it gives you a brief list of the references. So you can see that this answer, Scopus AI used 13 references to give you this answer, all of them, of course, from Scopus. In addition to that, it provides you with something called foundational documents. So in foundational documents, these are documents in the same subjects, which they have a lot of citations. So that's considered foundational, and it's important maybe to go through them also to give you the background of the subject as well. So that's the first part of the answer. If you see the answer is going into your direction, that's what you're looking for, you go ahead with the expanded summary. If not, then maybe you need to recorrect the question one more time. So let's say this is the answer, which is the direction I'm looking for. This is the subject which I'm looking for. There's an expanded summary. If I click on it, then Scopus AI will start generating an expanding summary to go deeper into the subject, again, using references from Scopus. So if you click here on the numbers, you immediately get which references and give you, as I mentioned, more deeper question. And then there are other sections of the answer. Number one is the concept map, which is personally, I find it very, very useful. If you click on concept map, it will do that graph for you, and it will show you how is the big subject we talked about or asked about, chronic sleep deprivation, how it is actually consists of different elements. Here, there are 3 elements, and each element is consist of a smaller elements like insomnia, for example. So that's actually help you to understand exactly what is the relation between the different subjects and what is the granular level of the subject. And also, if you would like to know more like about insomnia, if you click on that, it will actually give you an answer about this part separately to understand the terminology here. And by the way, you can download also this image if you want to use it in a report or something like that. That's the first part, which is the concept map. The second part is the topic experts. So if you're looking for experts into this field for any reason, it could be for collaboration, it could be for other reviewers or reviewers for journal or for subject, or to read more about their publication. So if you click here, it gives you a list of topic experts, which can be very helpful, as I mentioned, in a different ways. I hope you're typing your questions in the Q&A if there is any questions, so we can answer them at the end. It's taking a little bit more time. Let me click again. Let me close this and click again. Okay. Okay. Oh, it has come. Okay. So it shows you here the researcher name, and it depends actually on the matching documents. So this researcher could have, let's say, 100 publications in Scopus, but 9 of them are matching exactly with the subject we are talking about. And you can see the number of citation, each index. The second one, Dr. Christina, 9 matching and 35, and so on. And description for that. And you can, if you click, you can preview the profile of the researcher as well, or go to the full profile in Scopus as well. The last part into this section is the emerging themes, which is something very new, not very new. I mean, it's a new thing in Scopus AI. The emerging themes can help the researcher to understand how mature is this topic. And there are 3 categories into that part. Number one is consistent theme, which means this research area or this research theme, it has enough number of publications. It's covered by publication. You can read on it, there are enough research and so on. This one also consistent. Yes, so the second category is rising theme. So the number of publication into this theme is growing. So it was less before, but now it's growing. There is actually momentum going on. So that's something maybe if you would like to think about publishing ad, that could be useful. And the last one is novel theme. This actually could be a research gap, and it could help the researcher to publish it. Novel theme means this theme doesn't have enough number of publication yet. So the first one has a consistent number of publication. It's the field has grown. The number two is rising theme. It was less number, but it's growing. The third category is novel theme, which is there is no enough number of publication. So that's the third part of the first section of Scopus AI. And then you can go deeper with the questions and continue your research. That's actually the first section. I'm going to copy that and show you the very new thing. Maybe you haven't seen it yet. That has been added recently. I think it's 2 months now added, or 1 month added to Scopus, which is the deep research. Let me put the same question, but I'm going to enable deep research. This is actually which using the method of a new method, actually, or a new concept in Gen AI, which is called agentic AI, which is it's acting as you are doing the research or acting as agent for you. And the format of the output is like a report. So I'm enabling here deep research and click here on that arrow. It takes time, actually. It's mimicking the human being thinking. So it takes usually at least 1 minute, usually sometimes 2 minutes to format the report. So start with thinking, and then it gives you actually what it is doing right now. It says, I have created a research plan. So now the research plan has been created, and then what is the next step? Now it says starting initial, and then so on. So it start actually giving you what it is doing in the background. It takes a bit of time, but I'm sure you will like the end result. So it says found 20 sources related to a concept within this question. The research coordinator is reviewing the findings. So it is actually the Gen AI agent is reviewing the findings. Now it's working on the final stage. So another 20 resources, which is related to another specific area, which is the gender specific issues related to cognitive functions related to sleep deprivation. And now it's aggregating the research findings. Now it's working on the report. It should be ready in a few seconds. That should be the last stage. Yeah, so it took about 2 minutes, 30 seconds, but I'm sure you will like at least you will find it interesting. The report. Sorry, I have an issue with my mouse. So actually, it says here, it took 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay, for some reason my mouse has actually Okay, sorry for that. So you can see here the title of the report. You can view it in PDF and save the file. And then it starts with a quick reference and key findings. So it gives you a themes and summary of that theme. So these are the themes which is covering our question and a summary of it. And again, of course, each part of the answer where this summary came from. There are 4 references for the first theme, 4 references for the second theme, and so on. And then it finishes the themes. It gives you a direct answer. So that's actually a direct answer about the question. What was the study scope? So what was the span? It was the last 2 decades. A discipline, it covered the subject from the neuroscience point of view and other subjects. What are the methods which has been used, assumptions and limitations related to the study? So exactly similar to what the points which is I think the researcher would be interested for, suggested further research, and then the answer in details. It starts with an introduction and background. All these answers are from references in Scopus, of course, biological and neurological mechanism, and so on. So these are the detailed answer. Each one has its own synthesis, as you can see. Still going into the detailed answer. So it is formatted into a report way of answer. The synthesis at the end, and this is a creative inside. And these are, it depends on 20 references from Scopus. The AI was able to cover all of them, review them in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Actually, there are more. You can show all the 86 references, and you can view this in a PDF, and then you can continue your discussion with the deep research into this area. So this is what I wanted to share with you about the author profiles and also the Scopus AI, the 2 parts. One is it become now the normal Gen AI here, and the additional new thing, which is the deep research. I hope that was useful, and let's take the questions. And Ms. Bushra and Ms. Nadia, if you can help me, I'm looking at the Q&A.
Thank you, Wael. Thank you very much, Mr. Wael, for the insightful and valuable presentation on Scopus and Scopus AI. We really appreciate your time and effort in sharing your expertise with us today. Now we would like to open the floor for any question from the audience. And also there is some questions in the chat. And for all of you, I want to make you remember that the presentation, the workshop will be recorded, and we will send the recorded to the audience, all the audience who enter the workshop. And also, while if it is possible, please send me the recording, and I will put it on our YouTube channel, inshallah, for the audience later.
Sure. I'll send it to you. And also, everyone has participated into this one will receive it tomorrow by Zoom. So automatically, we add this to the email settings of Zoom. So the people who attended, and even the people who were registered but were not able to attend, they will receive the link for the record.
Okay, thank you, Wael. Now there's so many questions on the chat. Can you please see?
Yes, so first one from Dr. Sultan, how can we access the full article, not only the abstract? Scopus is an abstract and citation database. That's the main thing from Scopus, because it has a huge amount of publication, as I mentioned in the beginning. Although it has also a big amount of open access articles. I mentioned about 25 million, so it's like 1/4 of the publication in Scopus are open access, so you can reach the full text. But the main purpose of Scopus is abstract and citation database, which allow you to do a literature review and know what's the latest in the field, do collaboration and so on, a lot of things. The second question, Dr. Halima, how can we get the workshop? Oh, okay, so that's already answered about the record. To summarize, maybe we can say that Scopus is a database search engine for journal articles, can do automatic referencing such as Mendeley. I think maybe that's a new person with us who hasn't attended any of the trainings before. So Scopus is different from Mendeley. Scopus is an abstract and citation database which have 3 resources: journals, conferences, and books. Mendeley is a reference manager, and both of them are on an Elsevier product. If you found one of the records or publication are important for you in Scopus related to your research, you can have Mendeley installed on your machine or your laptop. It's free, and you can send that publication into your Mendeley library. Could you please explain what is Cyval? Cyval is an analytical tool by Elsevier, depends on the data from Scopus, and it helps with the research evaluation for an entity, for entities. So it could be, this entity could be a researcher, it could be a university, it could be a department, and also it helps with the ranking and so on. That is Cyval, and of course Sultan Qaboos University, you have access for Cyval. Where to find the YouTube channel? This, I leave this to Miss Bushra to answer that question.
We have YouTube channel called Main Library SKU YouTube channel. You will find all the recorded workshop in that channel. Even every workshop that the publisher do it and we did it, we'll find it in that YouTube channel.
Maybe if you type the link in the chat or the Q&A.
Okay, I will type the link on the chat for you.
Yes. So then, Dr. Suad, could you clarify whether the expert review step will include their opinions or paragraphs from their papers? Okay. So the expert review or the researcher discovery is to find people or experts in your field with the different parameters, and then it's up to you to contact them later. It's only about finding the right experts in that field to help you. It's mainly done to help with collaboration, actually, but as a secondary option, it can help in reviewers and so on. But it doesn't actually contact them for you, but you can see their publications, of course. هل يمكن البحث في سكوبس باللغة العربية؟ نعم، يمكن البحث باللغة العربية بالكلمات المفتاحية باللغة العربية، حتى في Scopus AI يمكن البحث باللغة العربية. So the question was, can we search in Scopus in Arabic? Yes, it's possible to use keywords and search by our Arabic language in Scopus and also in Scopus AI. Can you please share the link to? It's actually not complete. Already explained about Cyval. I recently reviewed my Scopus author profile and noticed that it lists an institution affiliation that I'm not currently associated with. I would like to request the removal or correction. Could you advise? Okay, so there are 2 things. One is you saying you are not currently associated with, which is very normal. Like, as I mentioned, the example for Professor Muhammad, maybe he was at the University of Oxford 5 years back, and now he joined Sultan Qaboos University. So you will find all the full academic history of the researcher. If you have never actually worked for that institution, then that's actually a different thing and could be very interesting. You need to review the list of publications, because Scopus capture the affiliation from the publication. So in this case, you need to review the list of publications in your profile and remove the one which is not yours. This automatically will remove the affiliation. If you're still facing an issue, then please mention it to the support from the question mark on top. I hope that was clear answer. And then one more question: how can I get help by Scopus AI in a new research ideas? Like, a lot is being published about so and so, but what is new? As I mentioned, I guess if you go to novel, if the themes and go to novel themes, these are new research ideas which doesn't have enough information. So I think we have answered all the questions, unless there are some which I can't see.
So thank you very much, Wael, for the comprehensive presentation. I have one question. Could you please explain the difference between the Scopus AI and the free AI tools?
Sure, of course. That's a very important question, Dr. Hamad. So, by the way, we are using actually the OpenAI software or search engine in Scopus AI. But the big difference is the content. So we are using their engine, which is could consider be the best technology right now. But we are using it on only the content of Scopus. So you are getting an answer from a peer-reviewed articles and journals only, and not from like the open internet, which is anyone can actually upload anything. Could be correct, could be wrong, it could be semi-correct. No, we are talking here about we are having the search engine work only on the content from Scopus. And as you know, it's all peer-reviewed journals, number one. Number two, we have a content selection advisory board who actually review the journals to accept them to be indexed in Scopus. And third step on top of that, this content selection advisory board, they actually do a revision for all the journals from time to time to make sure that they are still matching with the quality criteria of Scopus. So there are 3 levels of quality checking before the content continue in Scopus. So the engine only works on the content from Scopus, and as you have seen, it gives you the link for all references. This is number 1. Number 2, we are not using the questions which you are asking Scopus AI to train the model. So the information is not the questions which is the researchers are asking are not going anywhere. Even I'm not sure if you realize that it can be kept for yourself only in your history. But even if you have realized in the area for searching, there is actually on top something which is called a temporary conversation. If you enable that temporary conversation, even these questions will not be saved for yourself. So it was saved for yourself, so you can come back to it, let's say next day or after 1 week, to remember the work which you have done without need to type it somewhere outside. But even if you want to do that, you can actually ask Scopus AI not to save that in your own history as well. I hope that was clear.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Wael. I don't know if you answered this question. It was in the chat. He said, I recently reviewed my Scopus author profile and noted that it is listed an institutional affiliation that I am not currently associated with. So he want your advice for that one.
Yeah, we did answer that actually in the Q&A, which is I mentioned three points quickly. I can mention it again. Number 1, if the history of the researcher shows all the institutions they worked for. Number 2, if you have never worked for that, then that means there is a document which is added to your profile, which is not yours. So you need to remove the document, as we have seen, and automatically the affiliation will go. If you're still facing an issue, then they can contact the support from the question mark, as we mentioned. These are the 3 elements of the answer.
Okay, thank you, Wael.
Welcome. Any more questions?
I think that all the questions we answered them. I don't know if there is more questions.
No. Let me try to look at the Q&A also. There's an anonymous attendee says, can I enroll through Sultan Qaboos University because it's not allowing me? I'm not sure who's that person and enroll in which program or database. So that's not clear. Please, if you can make it clear, your question. The link for the channel, I think Ms. Bushra has already put it.
And
How can
also,
I
Dr. Hamad Al-Azri also put it in the QA.
Okay, thank you. How can we access the full article, not only the abstract? We answered that. I didn't hear the answer. I don't know for which question. Are these results 100% correct or there some error? That's an interesting question. We can't say that it is 100% correct because also the most knowledgeable person in this case would be the researcher. The researcher need to review the answer. But what I can confirm 100% that the answer is coming from the Scopus publications. If mostly no full text available in Scopus, how is Scopus AI is accessing the full article's content to answer the question? The answers are coming from the abstract and keywords of the publications, not from the full text. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. When CiteScore 2025 will be released? The CiteScore, it changes in May every year. So the CiteScore 2025 will be released in May 2026. So it's like the impact factor and the other metrics like SNP and SGR, all of them are once in a year. Except CiteScore has a CiteScore tracker, which is a monthly, but usually it is in May, the annual one. What are the parameters will be used to evaluate author based on Cyval? That's actually needed Cyval training. So what you need in a simple words is you select the author profile and look at all the different parameters like the H index, the field weighted citation impact, the average of citation, average of publication in Q1 or in top 10%, top 1%. There are a lot of parameters in Cyval or a lot of matrix. Thanks for the seminar. Please, I can't find the link. هل ترجمة الذكاء الاصطناعي دقيقة من اللغة العربية؟ حتى الآن بصراحة أنا استخدمتها لقيتها دقيقة جدا. يعني أتمنى حضراتكم تستخدموها وتدونا الفيدباك. بس أنا بصراحة يعني بقالنا أكثر من سنة ونص بنستخدمها كانت دقيقة بالنسبة لي. A lot of questions about the YouTube channel. The link actually is in the Q&A. I just saw it on top. So you can see it from Dr. Hamad Al-Azri. It's available in the Q&A, and I think it's available in the chat as well. I think we answered all the questions.
So thank you all once again, and we're looking forward to seeing you in our future library event. Have a great day. شكرا جزيلا أستاذ وائل.
شكرا جزيلا يا دكتور. شكرا لحضراتكم جميعا. ألف شكر.
بارك الله فيك.
شكرا جزيلا وائل.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
وعليكم السلام.